Finn Balor continues to look supreme with the NXT Championship, but he's got Adam Cole coming up next week. We're going to talk about everything that went down on this week's NXT in just a second, so stay tuned. This is your NXT review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are talking about NXT. Quite a good show throughout. Nothing really bad happened, I would say. But next week seems to be some type of super show. We're getting two title matches in the shape of a NXT title match with the men and of course the women, Io Shirai and Toni Storm. But we're going to talk through everything that happened on today's show in just a second, so stay tuned. And right here on WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into this NXT review. The show opened up with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan taking on the team of Ciampa and Thatcher. I guess they're a team now, somewhat. They're affiliated with one another. And these guys stepped in because obviously MSK, Wesley, is got an injury right now. So Ciampa and Thatcher stepped in to kind of kick off the show with these guys. I guess this was supposed to be the tag team title match after winning the Dusty Classic. Really good match, hard hitting as you can imagine, technical as well in places. I like Ciampa in this role. He's a man that's wore many hats in NXT. You know, we've seen him right at the top of the card. We've seen him reign in the tag division before. I like this role. I like him with Timothy Thatcher. I think they work nicely together. They are very similar in many ways in their styles. And this went well. It was good to see Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. I complained about them last week, the fact they haven't really been in sight recently, but it was good to see them back on the card and doing what they do best because they're very good at what they do as well. In the end, a story was told throughout the match of Thatcher kind of harboring an injury and trying to overcome this injury. And Thatcher was in the end distracted by Imperium, who came out, and Imperium were on the entranceway. Thatcher was looking on. Ciampa turned to see what he was looking on at. He saw Imperium. I think he was then attacked by Oney Lorcan. Those guys then got in the ring, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, that is, and done their tag team finisher move to Timothy Thatcher. So they came away with the win. Ciampa got in the ring afterwards and was having a discussion with Thatcher, like, you know, what distracted you? You know, you should have just tagged me in instead of kind of getting to the corner and getting distracted. Thatcher was like, yeah, I should have done that, etc., etc. So these two don't get a win here. The tag team champions are kept strong, which is good to see. It would have been a shame if they kind of finally came back on TV in a wrestling capacity and lost immediately. So I think it was pretty good that they retained, or it wasn't for the title, but yeah, they got the win at the end of the day. Moving on, next up on the show, we had Roderick Strong come out to no music or anything. He just came out and demanded Adam Cole to come out. Obviously, Adam Cole didn't come out, but Finn Balor did. And Finn Balor told him, look, he's not going to answer your call. You have nothing to offer him. You're dead to him, but he will answer my call. Finn Balor goes straight into the camera and he says, Adam Cole, you, me, next week, NXT Championship. So Finn Balor knows this is the one way that he can get his hands on Adam Cole. So I guess you can say it's a smart move. It's a smart move if he retains. He went back to Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong now has the perception that Finn Balor is the reason of the falling apart of Undisputed Era, saying that, you know, everything was called Undisputed Era before you came along. Finn Balor corrected him and said, I'm not the reason that you guys fell apart. Your brotherhood, or so-called brotherhood, fell apart because of this, the NXT Championship, which was on his shoulder. And he went on to say, you know, is basically, you know, the likes of, I think it's jealousy and this, that, and the other that tore you guys apart. Kyle O'Reilly had 2 or 3 shots at Finn Balor. We didn't manage to win. Adam Cole was annoyed at that, etc., etc. And he said that Roderick Strong will always be a follower, never the leader. And Roderick Strong didn't take kindly to that and struck out at Finn Balor. Um, it's good to kind of see Roddy standing up for himself. Um, and these guys had a bit of a scrap, a bit of a pull away brawl. Referees and all of that came in to break it up afterwards. So yeah, and then it was announced that later on in the night, or should I say, the main event was going to be Finn Balor versus Roderick Strong. Which is good because I don't feel like we've seen Roderick Strong in a singles capacity forever, and he is honestly one of the best wrestlers on that roster, if not in WWE full stop. So yeah, I was really looking forward to that by the time they announced it. So yeah, we were gonna get that. And I'll just kind of run through everything that happened with this next segment. Now, we had a pre-film segment of the way Johnny Gargano and family at therapy, trying to seek therapy for Austin Theory. Obviously, he's been recently kidnapped by Dexter Lumis. Dexter Lumis wasn't on the show at all today, but yeah, these guys are all away, and yeah, they kept cutting in during the NXT broadcast these segments of them being at therapy. Johnny Gargano first got thrown out by the therapist for doing too much. Then did Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Austin Theory finally got offended by some words that Loomis left with the therapist. So yeah, it didn't go well at all. In the end, it seemed like it was all a setup between Johnny Gargano and the therapist. Yeah, it was fun in parts. Depends what you like in your wrestling, but it was pretty good. The same kind of comedic stuff that the Way have been doing for some weeks now. So yeah, that happened. We'll move on. We had Ember Moon with Shotzi Blackheart taking on Aaliyah, and she was escorted down to the ring by the Robert Stone brand people, Robert Stone himself and Jesse Kamea. This match was a bit disappointing, I must say. Aaliyah in NXT, man, she has been there forever. And I don't understand if they just don't see anything for like no progression or anything, let her go. Let her go. Maybe she needs a new start. Maybe she's just coasting now. She just sees this as a job with a paycheck, and you know she's not pushing herself. I don't know what it is, but Aaliyah has been in NXT forever. Honestly, forever. Um, and it doesn't do anything when you put her in a match against Ember Moon. We all know who's winning. We all know who's winning beforehand, and she's not enhancing anything because she doesn't do like anything brilliant in the match to say, she's just a great enhancement talent. She can sell for anybody and all of this kind of stuff. I don't feel that when I watch her. I just feel like it's a real predetermined match because you know who's winning. Like there was nothing in this, and I think it unfortunately brought Ember Moon down some levels. No mistakes or anything were made. It just was you know, I don't like talking negatively of people. This is their craft. This is what they do. But it's just not interesting because it's all you already know what's going to happen. The match isn't even going to be exciting. So, yeah, I mean, the match ended by the Robert Stone brand people himself and Jessica Mayer kind of getting involved. We saw Shotzi Blackheart deliver like a double clothesline off the stairs, and then we saw Ember Moon go up for the Eclipse and put away Aaliyah with the Eclipse. So yeah, the Eclipse was the highlight of the match. I love that move. So yeah, but they really need to do something, make like a really final decision with Aaliyah because yeah, it's not interesting. Whatever they've been running with, it's not interesting at all. We got some more women's action in the way of the WWE Tag Team Championships being on the line. We knew we were going to get this match this week. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai going after Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler's Tag Team Championships. Great match. Honestly, great match. This was a very, very well told story. We obviously had the story of Shayna Baszler and Dakota Kai with all their previous NXT history being told here in the ring. Dakota Kai at times showing fear of Shayna Baszler, but at times remembering, she's got her big girl pants on now and she's not scared of Shayna Baszler anymore. And then we got that colossal face off, between Nia Jax, Raquel Gonzalez. Really good stuff. Really good stuff throughout this match. Really good spots throughout this match. Um, Nia Jax, she looked menacing at times. Shayna Baszler always looks menacing. We saw a massive spear from Raquel Gonzalez to Nia Jax, which pushed them over the commentators' table, right? And then in the ring, Dakota Kai was in a Kirifuda, the headlock. Now, Raquel Gonzalez was the active member of the team. She had been tagged in. She was active member. Before she done the spear, she done a big boot who was intended for Nia Jax, but it hit the referee. Referee knocked out right now. She does the spear over the commentator's table to Nia Jax. Cool. Shayna Baszler's got the Kirifuda clutch locked in on Dakota Kai. Adam Pearce, WWE official Adam Pearce, SmackDown, Raw, Defecto GM Adam Pearce runs out. He waves to the back that another referee comes, another WWE referee, not an NXT referee, a WWE referee comes out, runs into the ring, sees that Dakota Kai has passed out, and he calls for the bell. Gets the Women's Tag Team Championships, gives it to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. So Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler retain the championships here. Very, very interesting. Why is Adam Pearce invested in these guys making sure that they're still champion? He wants to keep the Women's Tag Championships on the main roster. He doesn't want them to go to NXT. Is this a heel turn by Adam Pearce? I don't know. This was very, very interesting and it was well done. We saw William Regal and Adam Pearce arguing later on in the night. I feel like we're going to get the NXT championships, the NXT, I feel like we're going to get the women's tag championships a mainstay on NXT. I think that's what's going to be the outcome from this. But it's very interesting to see Adam Pearce's involvement in all of this. Adam Pearce has, usually been a clean guy. He's never really got involved in any kind of controversy or anything like this. So him rushing a referee down to make sure, his main roster stars make sure they stay as tag team champions was very, very interesting. But I do think in the end we are getting the women's tag championships a mainstay on NXT, and it'll be great to hear what you guys think about that. They've got so many women on NXT doing great things as well, so I think it would be a positive move because they kind of do need a bit of a mid-card title or something. But yeah, very interesting to see Adam Pearce get involved here. So yeah. Right, before we move on, guys, please remember to hit the thumbs up button, give us a like. It's thoroughly appreciated right here at WrestleManiac UK, and it does loads for the channel. So if you haven't already, please smash the like button. Thank you very much. Next up, we had LA Knight come out. Eli Drake finally kind of debuted, so to speak, in the NXT CWC arena. I can't lie to you, his promo kind of went over my head. I know he's basically stamping his authority, introducing himself, saying that, he's the main guy. It took him however long to get here and all of this kind of generic stuff. And he caps it off with his little catchphrase, and that's a fact of life. Didn't really take in what he was saying here, but it's delivered well. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in NXT. But short and sweet, he didn't really say anything of note, like going after anybody or anything like that. To follow up, we had a Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes match, which was pretty decent. This match was pretty good by these guys. And what was interesting was that Cameron Grimes has obviously been repackaged now somewhat, if you like, if you want to use that word. He's got the entrance music that Josiah Williams made for him, that he's got money and all this stuff, and he's got a new Titron and everything like that. But what was interesting was Bronson Reed was going up to the top rope. LA Knight reappears and like pulls Bronson Reed's leg, kind of makes him stumble on the top rope somewhat. Bronson Reed comes down for the top rope and he gets hit with a cave-in by Cameron Grimes. Gets pinned. So LA Knight, Bronson Reed as a first feud. Yeah, I don't mind it. Let's see. I'm not overly familiar to Eli Drake's previous work, so it'll be interesting to kind of get used to him, see what he can do. Um, is he maybe just trying to take Cameron Grimes maybe under his wing now that he's a millionaire, a billionaire, whatever he is? So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. But yeah, LA Knight has kind of spotted Bronson Reed as his first target, so to speak, in NXT. Next up, we were supposed to get a match between Breezango and Everrise. This never started because Legado del Fantasma, um, the henchmen, if you like, Raul Mendoza, Joaquin Wild, they came out, they attacked. Um, who did they attack? Breezango. They attacked Breezango on the entrance way as they came out. And then we saw Everrise kind of jump out the ring as Legado del Fantasma got in after them celebrating. I think it's all over. And then we saw the main man himself, Santos Escobar, come down to the ring. He came down to the ringside area, attacked Everrise, and got into the ring with his tag partners, or his faction members, should I say. So he got into the ring and basically said that, despite what happened last week, them losing, or him losing to Karrion Cross, these guys are as good as ever. There's no issues, there's no worries in the camp, and they're gonna keep on, doing their thing. So Santos Escobar and the rest of Legado del Fantasma showing how angry they are, but kind of showing that they've still got the authority on NXT. Last but not least, we saw the match that we were promised earlier on: Roderick Strong versus Finn Balor. You can imagine how good this match was. It was so good. We saw backbreakers all over the place, which made, the Prince Finn Balor have to be nursing his lower back during the rest of this match. Um, we didn't see any shenanigans. This was just a well fought match between these guys. One thing I'll say is that, I fear for Roderick Strong post this Undisputed Era storyline. As great as a wrestler he is, and I mean great, not good, great, he is so generic. He is so generic. Like, they've given him new music and stuff now, kind of repackaged him. He's got like a new Titron, new gear. So generic, man. It's crazy. It's so generic. And this is exactly what it was before he joined Undisputed Era as well. Not in terms of music and stuff, but how generic it is. So yeah, there's definitely some character work, that could help to enhance him, sort of thing. Um, but yeah, this match was really, really good. I do think the women's tag team championship match should have been in the main event, but I guess this is the NXT champion we're talking about. And even with harboring those injuries, we saw a coup de grace. We saw him a well elevated 1916, which he dropped Roderick Strong with, and then pinned him for the win. So Finn Balor gets the win on the night. As he's celebrating, Adam Cole comes out, and they basically have a pose of Finn Balor's doing the gun fingers. You saw Adam Cole like this. Um, Very interesting what we're gonna get next week between Adam Cole and Finn Balor. Are we gonna see the return of Kyle O'Reilly? Is Kyle O'Reilly gonna come back and make his presence felt? Cost Adam Cole the championship? It's going to be very, very interesting. For those that don't know as well, obviously it's been announced, and now, well, I say informally, it looks like fans found it, that there's going to be an NXT takeover on a Thursday, the Thursday before WrestleMania. So I think that's the 8th of April. There's going to be an NXT takeover, and that's going to be a day after an NXT show as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen on that takeover. Are we going to get this NXT match on the WrestleMania card as well? I think we're intrigued to see that. And yeah, NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, is that going to be a thing in the future? Adam Pearce's involvement is making me think that these NXT titles are going to somehow become mainstays on the NXT brand. It seems like he got involved so that they would stay on the main roster, but I think maybe in the long term, these are going to be an NXT staple, the NXT Women's Tag Championships, and I would love to see it. Let me know what you think down below in the comments of that idea. Guys, remember to hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. That is your NXT review, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.